Hey, it's Nini here again. Today I'm going to show you how to make this screen printed hack t-shirt. We'll start off with what we need. So firstly, we're going to need a t-shirt. We're going to need our stencil of what we're going to be creating it with. We're going to need the paint, something to brush it on, so whether we use a paintbrush or a sponge. And because I'm using Mylar for my stencil, I'm going to need some sort of fixative, so I'm just using this quick grip Sally spray. You can use the painter's tape if you need to, depending on the type of stencil that you have. I have got a scraper there in the background. I don't actually end up using this one, but that's okay. You also need some kind of heat device. I'm going to be using my heat press, but you can use an iron. It actually says to use an iron on the paint. Now if we're doing the brother scan and cut, which I'm actually doing today, I'm taking this image and I'm going to print it out and then scan it and cut it into my brother scan and cut. So what I'm going to do here is I've got the image of the lady back in Inkscape. I'm going to go File, Print. Now choose my WF7710, which is the one that I'm using today, and then I'm going to go Preferences because she's just a plain black and white image. I don't want it printing out using the colours. So I'm going to go Preferences and then I'm going to change it to grayscale. Press OK, apply it, and then I'm going to print. Okay, so once that's printed, I'm going to take it over to my brother scan and cut. What I'm going to do is I just scan the image into my machine, I set the outline, and then I'll change it over with the Mylar and cut out my Mylar. Now this time I didn't actually video me cutting the Mylar because I got a phone call halfway through, so that cut out on me. So I will take you straight across to the process of me applying the Mylar onto the shirt. Now we're getting to the fun part. So here I am just placing the pieces down where I want them using the spray adhesive. So they're not naturally sticky, obviously, so me pulling them away is giving them a bit of a spray and sticking the pieces down where I think they should go. Now I've actually ended up cutting up a sponge here so that I could put the paint on. And I'm just going to go and sponge around the small areas that are a bit hard to get to, and make sure that I've got everything nice and saturated. I'm going with a bit of a distressed look with my t-shirt, so I'm not overly phased on having a nice thick image, but I just wanted to make sure that it was actually fully covered. So I start off going ahead with the sponge in all the side areas, and then I end up grabbing out my brush and just filling in some of the parts that were a little bit harder to get to. Also because I started running out of paint. I've used this one a few times. Now it does stick a bit because I've actually got pieces of paper behind the shirt because I don't want anything soaking through onto the back and showing through. So I've got a piece of paper behind, which is why you can see a bit of a bump just there. But that doesn't matter as long as I've got everything nice and coated. So now I'm just going through and taking off the stencil while the paint is wet, so that I can see if there's any areas that I've made mistakes on or anything like that. Alright, take that off. Now I go and get a wet sponge because there is some areas that I kind of went over, and as long as it's not been set yet, because this plastisol ink is heat set, you can wash it off with a sponge. Okay, so now you just need to heat set it. Do that according to the paint's instructions that you've got. I'm a bit of a fickle person when it comes to my heating. I always give it a few extra blasts than it needs. I'm using a heat press. You can do it with a normal iron. It even says on the actual bottle to do it with an iron, but I'm doing it with a heat press because I find it a bit easier. So here I am just peeling the baking paper off slowly to make sure that it's not adhered to it and making sure that it's all cured properly. Here's a little shot of another angle of the heat press. Ta-da! I love it. I love it. And so I'm just going to hover that over there for a little bit. I've sped it up in the video, but I'm just hovering it over there, making sure it's dried out. And then I take it off, take the paper out from the inside, and we try it on. I really like how it turned out. It's got good flexibility to it. It feels really nice on, and I'm actually wearing it at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!